everyone, welcome to my craft room. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. Just bear with me, I'm getting my iPad all set up. I've had a sort of busy week. I've worked full time this week, which always is a bit of a bummer. Don't like that too much. But I've got a short week this week, which is really great. Don't know what's happening here. My iPad can't find my video. That's a bit of a worry. Come on. Anyway, I don't think there's anyone on yet. Oh, hello, someone's on, or is that me? Hang on, guys. Sorry about this. Here we go. Finally. Bear with me. Okay. Hi Kathy, thanks for joining. Oh, and Kathy as well. Hi guys. And Mel. Hi Mel. Coming to see me at doing crafting in my craft room. Anyway, before I get started, today what I'm going to be doing is a calendar, a desktop calendar. I'll show you. I won't bother getting this one out of its container. This is actually from my shop. So a friend of mine online said I should do a video showing how to do this, so I thought, well, getting a little bit sick of Christmas at the moment. I don't know about anyone else, and it'll probably mean I'm drummed out of society, but as a crafter, I'm probably, if I see another Santa, I'm probably going to scream. So I'm looking past Christmas and into the new year with my desk calendars. Saying that though, they are a perfect Christmas present, so yeah, I find that they're really good, and I've got some orders for them that I have to do during the week. Just show you what I've actually been doing this weekend, given that I am a little bit sick of Christmas. I've been doing some, I've reverted to form, and I'm actually going on to brides and wedding, which seems to be what I sell most of in my store. This one's a gift holder, a gift card holder. Let's see, the little gift card goes in there. I've done videos on these before, and I just adore this paper and this stamp set. This is the stamp set I'm going to use today. So that's a gift card holder for a bridal shower or something like that. And I did this wedding card as well. I'm a bit late in the day, but I actually just got this stamp set. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's beautiful. Oh, Wonderful Moments. So I've been looking at it and I finally got it. So I did that again with the Beautiful Promenade Designer Series paper. So yeah, so they'll be going into my shop. Hopefully somebody will snap them up. Oh, and I did this one. This was a labour of love. This is an exploding box that I did for a girl for an order. It's we don't know the gender of the baby. It's a baby one. We don't know the gender of the baby yet, so I stuck with our soft sea foam, the sort of light green, and put various baby embellishments on there. If you worry, if me not using non-Stampin' Up products worries you, you should probably look away while I'm showing that one. But anyway, that's really lovely. I really like those exploding boxes, though. I think I've done probably enough of them to keep me going for a while now. Anyway, it's all good. So that's what I've been up to this weekend. But let's get on with what we're actually here to do today. Oh, there's my host code. I'll bring that back in at the end of the video just in case you want to order from me in December. There's the host code. For anyone who doesn't know how a host code works, if you order online and your order is less than $250, enter that host code, and you will go in the draw for free products at the end of the month. So early in January I'll draw that. If your order is over $250, don't put the host code, because you'll qualify for free products on your own. So keep that in mind if you want to order some Creative Memories, oh my goodness, Stampin' Up from me during the month of December. Anyway, so we'll get on with our calendar. I called this one a calendar with the lot because it's actually got post-it notes and a little pencil in there as well. So it's not just the calendar that you see there, it's sort of like a whole desktop desktop thing. Okay, so what I generally do when I'm making these is I pick a paper that I love and I work around it. So in this case I've picked this one, which is from the, and I've forgotten which set it's from, bear with me. It's from, somebody will remind me, I'm sure. Anyway, it's one of the papers from the catalogue, the current annual catalogue, and the two main colours in it are Grapefruit Grove and Beautiful Blackberry Bliss. So they're the two colours that I'm going to use in the calendar. Now, making the calendar itself is really quick, so I didn't bother cutting anything beforehand. I'll cut it all for you now and prove to you how quick it can actually be. So first of all, you're going to get your Blackberry Bliss, which is what I'm using for the base of the calendar, and you need to cut it. You basically just use exactly half a sheet. So cut it at 4 1/8 inch, which you'll find will cut it exactly halfway, which is really great because you can make two and not waste a thing. So there's exactly there. I'm going to have to turn mine around because that's really difficult to do that way. Yes, wash my mouth out, Creative Memories. I was actually a demonstrator for Creative Memories before I was a demonstrator for Stampin' Up. So yeah, although I didn't get as much, I tended just to buy stuff for myself. So you do see the odd Creative Memory product pop up in the things that I do, but only very minor these days. Okay, so now there we've got a piece of cardstock which is about 11 3/4 long and 4 1/8 wide. And we actually want to score it, so put your scoring, cutting one up there, or you're going to do what I do and often cut when you mean to score. You actually score it halfway or close to, so at 5 3/4, and then again at a quarter, half away again. So at 2 7/8 you score again. I mean, guys, this is fundamentally an easel card. So if you go on to hi Chrissy, thanks for joining me. If you go on to Pinterest, there's a billion easel cards there to get the pattern from. So you're creating a sort of a lopsided Z with your card, with your base there. And actually I've done that the wrong way. That's the way you're going. There. So it's not, it's a, what's that? A B, a pointy B is what you're actually making with that. And that's sort of the base of an easel there. What you also need though is, because we actually have a sort of a more of a larger surface, you actually need to cut another piece of your Blackberry Bliss. Again, it's going to be 4 1/8 wide, which is why I'm saying it's a really handy pattern. And again, it has to be 5 3/4 long. Hey Karen, thanks for joining me. So there, we've got another piece of the Blackberry Bliss at 4 1/8 and 5 3/4. So that's the cutting of the Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that with some Grapefruit Grove. And for this, we're going to leave 1/8 of an inch around the edge, so you cut it a little bit smaller. So instead of 4 1/8, you cut it at, there's a bit of a gunky bit on that piece of paper. You cut it at 4, and you need 2 of these as well, which means my Blackberry Bliss isn't going to be big enough. Anyway, and then you bring it down to 5 5/8. So that's the first one. That's a little panel that just fits inside the Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to have to get another piece of Grapefruit Grove, just bear with me. I said to myself didn't have to get organised this time because it was all just so simple, obviously. That was spoke too soon there. So I've got another piece of Blackberry Bliss, Grapefruit Grove, and I'll cut another piece 4 by 5 5/8. Make sure it was a bit yucky, that piece, but I'll cut it. there. Okay, so that's our second piece there. I've got so many offcuts now, I don't know which is real. Okay, so I'll get rid of what I don't need. Okay, so you can sort of imagine that that one is going to go along that base there, and this one is going to form our easel there. So that's how that goes. Just one more piece to cut, and that is our beautiful designer series paper. Coming in 1/8 of an inch again, so we've gone 4, so we bring it back to 3 7/8. I'll have all these measurements on my blog if anyone's interested in having a look at that later. I'll put a link in the in the comments. And then we're bringing that from back down to 5.5. So that's 5.5 long. That's our first one, and then another one 5.5 long there. Cool. So that is all the paper we need for our calendar. So what I might do is I'll make the calendar, and then you guys can see how it's just basically an easel card. Okay, so just bear with me, I'll do some gluing. There we are, little edge all the way around. People probably leave their edges a bit bigger than me. That's, I sort of like it with just a bit of a hint around the outside. I think that's beautiful, that other side. Look at that other side of that paper. That's beautiful. That's Blackberry Bliss at its best. And put this one in here. These are just so easy. I feel quite guilty when people say how nice they are, because really it's just at this stage anyway, it's just basically gluing, cutting and gluing. Okay, so I'll just take this one in there. I'll take my glasses off, I can't see too close. Getting to that age, guys, and you probably, I don't know if you're all there as well, you get to that age where you got your glasses off and on more often than you've got them. I have them sitting on top of my head more often than I have them on my nose, I think. I have close-up glasses as well, but I refuse to use them. It sort of makes me feel too old. Anyway, can't fight the years, I suppose. Okay, just this one. I'm just watching the comments as they come up, guys. Apologies if I miss anyone when they log in. Anyone who misses out can obviously catch up on the replay on the page later. Okay, so that's layered up nicely there. So as I say, this front here is just going to go right on there. So just add some glue to this front facing panel here and line it up with the bottom of our easel. There we are. Line that up nice and just push that down. So that, in a nutshell, is your easel card. Now when people make these, generally they'll put something, I should probably score that, they put something at that front part to stop the easel from falling down, and they sort of decorate it with, you know, flowers and leaves and sentiments and things like that. So in this case we're actually going to put our post-it notes there. So what I have here is a little pad of post-it notes. I just picked this up from a local stationery retailer. So and a couple of little mats. So depending on the size of your post-it notes, I think they're generally 3 inches square. You basically cut in in your matching colours. You cut mats in that. So that basically sits up like this. So just forgive me, more gluing. Just make sure I don't go too far down the bottom of the screen so you can't see. So that's one. And then the post-it notes have this little, well, the ones I buy have this little mat on the back. You can just rip that off. Oh, that one's come with it. And you've got stickiness there. Don't stick it too much. So it sticks itself actually onto the little mat you've created. And that's really good because later on, if they run out of post-it notes, they can just basically buy their own and replace it, which is really, really good. Okay, so that one, I'll just glue that as well. That goes on the bottom of the, just centre it. Leave yourself, when you're doing these, leave yourself about 1 centimetre or 1/2 inch at the bottom. You'll see why in a minute. Oh, reminds me, I've just got to turn my hot glue gun on. Bear with me for a second. Just turn it on so it melts. Yes, I do need my hot glue gun for part of this. Assuming, you know, I don't know, you could leave this part off if you didn't have a hot glue gun or didn't like using them. Oops, sorry, I just bashed that with my glasses. Okay, so we've got our post-it notes on there that they're actually stopping the easel from moving too far forward. Now the top of that, you see how it closes down there, which is really cool. You can get that onto an envelope or into an envelope to send it to somebody special. You've got that. So at the top here, I've got this little calendar. Now you can buy these online at craft shops. Lots of craft shops offer them. I do suggest, however, that you shop around because they vary so much in price. So whereas I pay $1 each for these, I know that some of the ladies that I'm in group with actually pay a lot less. I don't know what they're. I'm assuming the quality is much the same, so just, as I say, shop around. I tried to get some of the cheaper ones. I need some more because these have been pretty popular. Tried to get some more, but everywhere else had sold out. So I'm assuming, so I had to go back to buying some of these expensive ones again. There we go. So, oh, sorry, same deal as with the post-it notes. I've cut mats 1/8 of an inch bigger than my calendar, so basically there, it's just to give it a bit of interest, and then I will attach my calendar there on top of those. Ooh. There we are, as even as I can. Be careful, I find sometimes if I'm a bit rough with these that the January can rip off. So unless I'm planning on selling it to someone whose year starts in February, it's not really very good. Yeah, I either burn myself or I leave it to, and it's not hot enough. My hot glue gun is sort of a lukewarm gun, I've decided. I see those ladies who do those videos and they use hot glue guns on these vast areas, and I think, well, mine would be sort of cold and dry by then. So yes, it's not my favourite piece of craft equipment, but it is handy here. Okay, so that's our, oh, don't put it up upside down, Julianne. So just place your calendar on your top, on your easel, and leave as much room as you think you need to, just so that it doesn't impact on the post-it notes, but it leaves enough room at the top to do some nice decorating, which we'll do in a minute. Okay, so there's the basis of our calendar. We've got our calendar and our post-it notes, so we're already taking shape really well. Okay, so what I might do now, since I've turned I'll check my glue gun. Is my glue gun gluing yet? Oh, nearly. Okay, so what I have here is a little pencil, little half pencil. And before someone says, have I been raiding the Kino bin at the local hotel, then I haven't. I did actually buy them in a pack of 50. This is from Officeworks, I think, and they were really cheap. They're about $3 for a pack of 50. I haven't used 50 yet. So anyway, what I've actually done is I've got a tiny slither of, this is a tiny little piece of black ribbon, and I have already wound that. So it's about 2-3 centimetres of ribbon, folded it around the pencil, and with the glue gun already, I have actually created a little holder for the pencil, a little circle there. So that's already on there. Well, that's what I've did off camera. Yeah, so Karen, the calendars, Angie from our group gave me a link to a place that had them, and they already had sold out. Obviously, they're quite popular. I get them from a craft shop in northern Tassie, and that's why I was saying they're a little bit more expensive. So I don't know how, as I haven't seen Angie's. Well, I've got one here that she sent us in our last swap, but the quality looks pretty much the same. Anyway, so my hot glue gun's hot now. So what I basically want to do is I'm going to attach my little pencil just down here on the front, or its little bit of ribbon, and so that it can slip in and out when it's being used. So you can see there, that's where the glue is from when I joined the ends of the ribbon together. So what I'll do is I'll put a piece of just a tiny bit of hot glue as central as I can there, and then force this down so it's on the join, and just force it down and let it dry, let it cool. So that's there. I'll just turn that off now. I don't need that anymore. It has a horrible smell. I hate the smell of hot glue. Yeah, I did have a look on eBay. It was a British place that did a lot. So they're although they were quite cheap singly, they were a bit expensive once you added postage on. But to be honest, I think I'm about the end of my calendar making for 2019. I might just leave it at that. Okay, so we've got our little pencil there, which will, you know, as you see, slip in and out from its little hot glue gun holder there. Cool. So now the fun bit. That's basically done, as far as it's concerned. What I thought I might do is use what's become my favourite stamp set at the moment, and here's the plug for Stampin' Up. This is the Beautiful Promenade stamp set, which I got recently. I'm probably again a little bit behind the times. I think everybody's got that. Everyone's got this one except me. I noticed Donna's done some lovely stuff with it. Hey Joyce, thanks for joining me. Anyway, so I'm going to do some beautiful flowers in this one. I do have the, I'll just pop this aside so it doesn't, nothing happens to it. So, I've got a scrap of Whisper White, and we all have those, don't we? I think I've got more scraps of Whisper White than just about anything else. And I'm going to use, to keep the theme going, I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss here to stamp my flowers. I tried it in the Grapefruit Grove and it just wasn't quite oomphy enough. It didn't have quite as much impact as I would have hoped. So we've got this little one that's got like lines on it, and we've got this outline one here. So I'll use both of those if I can find a mat. And what I've done is used Blackberry Bliss undiluted for the outline. Just make sure you guys can see there. So that's what I've done for the outline. And then, because we know it's so strong a colour, for the inside, I've actually stamped off, I think once. I'll have a bit of a look. So for this one, yeah, stamped off once. So stamp off once, and then line it up with the flower and stamp again. Let's hope this works. Sometimes the photopolymer stamps don't quite come through, but you can pop them on a piece of foam and they'll they'll have more coverage. That one's so right. And this one. Cool. So there's my two beautiful flowers. That's the Blackberry Bliss. And also the stamp set has a really cute little leaf, so I'll do a few of those. Can't be flowers without leaves. So I think I need 4 of these. So and I did those in Old Olive. Eek, there's my Old Olive gone. Oh, forgive the bashing. In Old Olive, which I think is the green that goes with just about anything. I'll do 4 leaves in Old Olive, just all around the place, because I'm going to be cutting them out with the, make sure I don't go too close, I'll go up here, 3 and 4. Cool. Okay. I do have to actually cut these out, so it's going to be a bit of a slow process. Forgive me there. Okay, so the dies are in the Beautiful Layers Thinlet set. I'm going to be using this doily type one as well. And there's our flower and our leaf. So bear with me. I might just do a couple of them, just to give you the idea. You don't really need to watch me do the whole thing, I'm sure. Just, I'm off camera at the moment. My big shot is off to the side. You'll probably be able to hear it. Oh, bum. Oh well. Sorry, I've gone over that with my leaf, but I'm wondering whether I can hide it. Yeah, I can. So I'm going to have to get my little brush, get all that. Trying to scrimp on my white Whisper white paper, which was very silly. Should have just used a separate piece. There we go, most of those are out. This one's a little bit, it probably needs to go through the big shot a couple of times, or at least mine does, or use the precision plate, because I do actually notice that some of these don't break off cleanly. Might be a slight fault in my thinlet. I'm interested to see, has anyone else experienced that with this particular one? I suppose because it is quite detailed. Anyway, so I won't try and get those out. What I'm going to do is I'll cover that little part with one of my flowers. So that's the doily part, and I'll do a flower or two. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second. Trying to watch the comments at the same time. Tricky without the glasses. As I say, the glasses go on, the glasses go off, the glasses go on. Okay, so I'll just do a flower and 2 leaves. Just bear with me. There's one of the flowers and a leaf. And I can do a second run through. There you go. Great videos of nothing. Sorry about this, guys. I probably should have done it ahead, but I was a bit cocky with this one. Thought I could do it with my eyes closed. second flower and my second lot of leaves. Oh, new flower. Okay, so there we are, I'm back. So I've still got 2 lots of leaves to do, but you've got the main idea. So there's a beautiful doily and there's 2 flowers. What I did with the one that I finished just recently, I went over the flowers with a wink of Stella, which I think just brings a little bit of something special. Keep in mind, guys, though, if you haven't used wink of Stella before, as we probably know, it does make the ink run a tiny bit, so you actually get like a coloured in effect as well as your sparkle. But to be honest, I love that with this Blackberry Bliss. I think it's glorious. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Karen. That's great. She says putting her glasses back on so she can see the comments. Okay, so I think that's just adds a little bit of something special. I have noticed it does it with some inks and it doesn't do it with others, so I sometimes wonder whether maybe it depends on how quickly you do it. Is the ink still slightly wet, or are our inks, you know, some inks are alcohol, some are water, but I thought all of these were water. But anyway, yeah, so it does it with some. It might just be because I delay it a little bit. I think my wink of Stella's running out. Give it a bit of a squeeze. Wouldn't be surprised. Wink of Stella's had a bit of a run for its money over the Christmas period. I don't know about anyone else, but I've been adding it to just about everything. Santa's beard, elves, snow. Oh, that's a crafty cafe. Oh gosh, there's so many crafty places out there. We mustn't be alone in our obsession. That's a good price too. 10 for $5.49. Might have to check them out for next year. As I say, I think I'm all calendared out for the moment. Okay, so we have our doily. We'll get our calendar back. Here we go. So basically, I'm just going to add the doily here. So as I say, so I can cover it where I've made a bit of a boo-boo there, but that's all right. Put the I love this doily because it's sort of, it goes a little bit concave. You can see that? It actually has sort of like a little bowl effect to it, so it sticks up. So I basically only glue it in the centre so that I can let it sort of do what it wants to do around the outside. I always love a bit of dimension with things. I'm going to pop that in there. So pop it as central as you can. There we go, line it up with the bottom of your calendar. And then I'm going to put one flower there, so as you can see, it actually covers where I've cut out that, so I'll put the other one there. Now, how did I do that? I've got to remind myself. Actually, I've got one sort of here. So I like that, so I'll do that again. There's a bit of glue all over the back of our flower. I'll turn this sideways. And up there like this. Stick it down. I'm not using dimensionals or anything. I think the doily itself gives enough sort of 3D to it. And we do want this to fold as flat as it can if we're going to be posting it. And this one here. Like that. You can do that whichever way you want. You know, it's all good. And then I will put that one, how am I going to put that? Anyway, and then tuck my leaves, and I'll do another couple of leaves off camera. Tuck our leaves, that one sort of coming out to the side there. I mean, this is, you can make card, you know, this could be the pattern you use for a card or anything. It's really pretty. And then coming up here, there's the 2 there. Okay, so that is my, mostly, once I do a couple more leaves, that is my calendar. Ooh, pencils decided to go for a walk. I don't know if you can see that. I'll put it up to the right angle for the screen. So there you go. I think they're really nice for teachers' gifts, or Secret Santa, or just for somebody who you want to send something across the miles, a little small gift for someone, because as I say, they fold lovely and flat. They don't sort of fit in a normal, even though they are card size, they don't fit in a normal envelope because they are quite thick. But if you've got the those little cellophane bags that you put sell cards in or use for treat bags, they actually fit in them quite nicely, as you can see there. You could actually make them skinnier if you wanted to put it in an envelope, but I think they're perfectly secure in there for the mail. Anyway, so that's done. Yeah, so I think they're really good. They've distracted me from constant Santa Clauses and baubles over the last couple of weeks or week or so, and you know, they're really, really popular. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you get to do some of those. Check out those that good value calendars that Wendy's put on the comments there. As I say, there is my host code. I've got several things happening at the moment. If you place an order with me online during the month of December for under $250 and use the host code, you'll go into the draw for the all for one stamp set, all new, not used. It's retails at $38. So if you use my host code and spend $100 plus postage, you'll go into the draw early in the new year for that, absolutely free. Also, I have a special for Stamparatus. If you buy a Stamparatus from me online, up to the end of this month, up to the end of December, I will send you as a thank you a pad of the small grid paper, which I can't find mine at the moment, but the small grid paper that goes in the Stamparatus, that's totally invaluable. As I say, I will send you those. So please, if you do buy the Stamparatus, just make sure you leave your address so I know where to send it to. Anyway, all my specials and offers are on my advisor site if you like to pop and have a look, but they're the two that come to mind at the moment that I've got running in December. So the draw for this one and the small grid paper. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone, and I will catch you all next week. Have a great week, have a great Sunday, and take care. See you again. Bye bye.